Aloha, amici. Ciao a tutti. Sono BC, and welcome back to another TueZday Garage. That's right, draining the transmission, man. And the fluid looks pretty good, man. We used pretty good stuff, and it wasn't too long ago when we actually filled up the transmission when I swapped this car from an automatic transmission to a manual. So I would say there's probably 2, 3, maybe 400 miles on that oil, that gear oil. So it smells good. Anyway, and it doesn't look like there's any metal shavings on the on the magnet. Old man knees standing up. But hey, while that is draining, let's talk about what else has been going on, because a lot's been going on, man. And I got a lot to show you and kind of bring you up to speed. As you can see, oh yes, the engine bay is quite, what's the word, vacant of things. And we'll talk about that too. Oh, excuse me, gosh, got some burps, man. I was just drinking a Crystal Pepsi, like blast from the past, man. I haven't had Crystal Pepsi in almost 25 years, since I was like a freshman in high school, man. That was a long time ago. But you know what, before we go any further, let me clean some of this up, because I have some things I want to touch and I don't want this to be all over it. So I'll be right back. You know, it's such a shame. I was just jamming out on my little stereo setup that we talked about to some 90s alternative on the Amazon Prime radio channel. Just jamming out to some Offspring and some other good alternative beats, man. But you know, we're gonna get copyright striking if we use those. So you get to listen to the smooth jazz music that you always listen to when you're here in the TueZday Garage. But let me show you what's been going on in the engine bay. So if you remember a long time ago, we talked about these little pipes that stuck out right here from where the air conditioning was, and also how this is the wiring harness and how it goes through the firewall into where the computer is held. And we're gonna go inside the car and I'm gonna show you what's been going on with that. You'll notice these pipes are gone, and really want to kind of bring you up to speed on that. But if we look, basically everything is now removed. The exhaust has been taken off. In fact, the exhaust is hanging over here by, what's his name? I don't know, maybe Giuseppe. Giuseppe the Vespa. So our exhaust pipes are taken off the car. And I also went ahead and removed the power steering. I removed the entire, let's see, let me get some light over here. Oh ho ho, fancy. All right, so I removed the entire power steering pump that was right here, and I also removed the alternator that was sitting right here. And the reason why is because once this engine starts to come up and out of the engine bay, those two pieces hang down, or especially the alternator and the way the bracket is for it, hangs down low enough that sometimes it can really cause a grind and a problem on the radiator core support. So just wanted to get that taken off just to kind of lessen the damage that I might do to the car itself. So that is all cool, all free and all fine. So minimal amount of mess made trying to, you know, get rid of and drain the power steering system. Basically, it's all gonna have to come out, and we're gonna kind of have to refab exactly like everything, to include right here where the actual canister is. And there's a lot of fluid on the outside of it. It might just need to be replaced all together. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that. But everything else has been removed. I think we probably talked earlier about the we talked last week about the wiring, so all that's good to go. But everything is looking set, looking fine. The car is up off the ground, and as we saw underneath, I just drained the transmission. But I want to show you what's been going on inside the car. So the reason we have to work inside the car as well is because we have to put a new computer in to control the RB engine. And to do that, we have to access the car's computer area. Well, we also talked about how we have to install a new wiring harness. And in order to do that, we need to get the old wiring harness removed. Let me grab my shop light here real quick so we can kind of see what's going on inside the Z. Well, this is where I need 3 hands. All right. Okay, all right. So you can see in here, now every car is different, but the Z keeps its computer right here in the... Can I hang this thing up? Let me see if I can hang up this light real quick. And... oh man, like a pro. Okay, so in the Z, the computer actually sits in an orientation something similar to this here. Now, I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but that's just the way it is. Then this piece of wood covers it up, and then you can see the carpet to the actual car flops up and covers up that. So like the passenger has their feet where the computer is. So that's the way it is hidden inside the car. Now, you'll notice there's like a huge gaping hole right here. And I did that on purpose because I don't know if you could see, but inside, yeah, I got light. So inside you can see right here is where the wiring harness is coming through from the engine to the computer. Now this computer is what we're gonna have to remove. The wiring harness is what we're gonna have to take out, and we'll be running all the new stuff through that hole right there. So I had to take out this bit to be able to get to that wiring, just more to do it easily. I think I probably could have done it without doing this, but yeah, that's ridiculous. So what are we looking at underneath the car, or underneath this area? Like if you're not too keen or familiar with cars in general, let me tell you what we're looking at right here. So this piece right here is actually the blower motor. So when you're turning on your heat and your AC, and you're controlling the high and low of the actual fan that's blowing the air out of your vents, this is that motor that's actually spinning and blowing that air. Now, it blows through the piece that was right here, which is actually our AC condenser. Yeah, condenser? No. Yeah, I think that's correct. And then it goes into this vent right here, which is where it gets distributed all over the car. So we don't have air conditioning in this car, and I know I briefly mentioned that before, but let me talk about that again. So one of the big reasons why we don't have AC in the car here is, for one, the system was bad. Okay, so the Z is 25 years old. Back in the day when the Z was developed, there was a different type of Freon that was used, and with that, a different type of seals, and just the whole system was different than what's available today. I think it was R12 back then, and now it's R134. And the difference in those systems are just somewhat incompatible with seals and whatnot. And I know there's a process, you can change it all out, you can get it to work, but overall, like, so the AC system that was in this car, it leaked. It didn't hold the cool charge, and it was unusable. You charge up the system and it would be hot again the next day. On top of that, because of the size of the RB engine, and because we're not going to be using a belt-driven motor, belt-driven fan for the radiator cooling, we're going to have to use electric fans. And then in front of that, we're also going to have an intercooler. Now, I need as much air to go through the front of this car as possible. And if we had the radiator or the AC condenser in the front, that's just that much, restriction to airflow. So that's another reason why we got it. Just basically, for this particular car, this car that's sitting right here that we're looking at, the AC was just done. It was past its life cycle. It was done. It needed to come out. So now, for those of you that don't understand the way the AC works, there's a compressor right here, and the compressor gets the gas flowing, and it goes through tubes, and it goes through a radiator type thing here in the front of the car where it's additionally cooled, and then that goes into the car's inside. Okay, this is the unit that it's coming into and coming out of. So the cold air is coming into here, and it's filling up this radiator, and as the blower blows air through this and out the other side, it's passing, this is cold, and so the air is basically catching that cold and going through to the rest of your car. So this piece here is, while it's not a nuisance, it doesn't cause any kind of problem for us. It's just unneeded. And one of BC's rules, man, in working on cars is, if you don't have parts left over after you're done with a project, then you didn't do something right. And that sounds like really bad to say, but I'm dead honest, man. You gotta have parts left over. So I've been looking at possibly creating like a custom duct or something to go between those areas. And another reason why I want to do this is because I don't want these pipes sticking out into our engine bay. So check this out. I looked at this thing, and it's actually got these little clips that are holding it together. So I removed all the clips, and voila, it comes apart, man. And I could take this foam lining out of here. I can take this entire compressor, come on foot, this entire compressor assembly out of that. I could take this foam insert out as well, maybe with one hand. Come on, and I'm not trying to, oh, he wants to come. Come on. Okay, and that's out. And then, look, we just put it back together like this. Bam! Put all the clips back on, and then just insert this back into the car, and we've got our pass-through so that the air can still... Now, obviously there's going to be some sort of like turbulence that's going to occur with our airflow, but dude, I live in Hawaii. I don't need heat. I don't really need this system at all right now. Granted, someday I'm gonna move and I'm gonna have to deal with that, but for right now we're good. Maybe I'll rig up some sort of something in here, but ultimately it's negligible. It's really negligible. So yeah, that's cool, and that's gonna help get rid of those pipes. I'm gonna be able to put this back inside, and we are gonna be good to go, man. So that's gonna help, just that little extra something that's going to help clean up our engine bay in the back so that we don't look like we have residual stuff after our engine swap. So that is really cool and really fine, man. I could show you that, look, we're done all the way back to the exhaust. It's good. We just have the drive shaft, which is connected to the tranny. I'm draining the tranny because once the drive shaft comes out, it would spill stuff everywhere. So all I have left to do is unbolt the transmission support right here. I need to unbolt the shifting mechanism inside the car right here. And then Amici, it is ready to go. So I asked for your feedback, and I got feedback from some of you, and I'm really excited about it. But we are going to live stream this engine pull, okay? And we're gonna do it this weekend. So this Sunday, we're gonna live stream the engine pull. So I'm gonna get everything set up this week. We're gonna shoot for, I think, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Gosh, I hope so. We're gonna start on Sunday morning. And yeah, we're just gonna pull it. So I'm gonna have it set up here. Hopefully I'll have it set up in a way that I'll be able to interact with you. I probably won't be able to see the chat too much, or maybe, you know what? I'm gonna get Lily here to assist me. She can help read your comments and your questions, and that way we can have a dialogue and some feedback. She's not with me today. She's feeling under the weather. Like, she jacked up something in her neck, I think, playing some sports, so she's not feeling too hot. So well wishes to her, right? But yeah, Amici, it's time, and I'm so excited because once this engine bay is clear, we can start the cleanup process. I might even tow it to a paint shop and get the inside sprayed like a gorgeous gloss black, like the roof line is up here. And yeah, man, we'll see what goes next. But man, I'm so excited to test to fit the RB in here and just start moving forward with that. If you haven't seen the RB yet, there she is hiding under a blanket. She's just kind of sleeping. And go back and check out some of the other vlogs when we talked about the RB exclusively. Lots of exciting things, man. Lots of exciting things. So, without any further ado, I'm gonna let you go for now. I hope you're enjoying the updates, and I hope you learned something, maybe about AC that you didn't know before. And again, I'm not trying to make this Z exclusive. Granted, if you're a Z guy, awesome, dude. Hopefully this is a great place where you're seeing some cool stuff. If you're just hoping to learn something about cars, hopefully you're doing that too. And I encourage you to tell people and come join us on Sunday. We're just gonna pull an engine, man. And again, it's not about showing, it's about sharing. I have probably pulled 20 engines in my lifetime. This is not something new for me. but it's still fun, and I hope you guys find some fun out of it too. So I'll see you on Sunday. Ciao a tutti and aloha. Bye bye.